What if I told you there's a Japan-exclusive JRPG for the Super Nintendo with better character development than Final Fantasy VI, more ambitious storytelling than Chrono Trigger, and music that rivals Secret of Mana? You'd call me crazy. And you'd be right. Emerald Dragon is none of those things. But let me tell you about it anyways. My name's Giraffes, and despite not reviewing them too often, JRPGs are my favorite video game genre. Many years ago, this love led me to discover Emerald Dragon for the Super Nintendo. The game was pretty bad, but also unique and earnest in a way I've never been able to forget. This game never came out in the West, so it's an especially hidden gem, pun intended, which I believe deserves more attention. So I'm gonna take you on the same adventure I had with Emerald Dragon. Make sure you watch till the end because I saved the biggest reveals for last, and if you enjoy the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. The game begins in Draguria, a world of dragons. A sailboat somehow crashes on the shore, leaving only one survivor, a human girl. She has amnesia, so the grandfather dragon names her Tamarin. The main character, Atrushan, is put in charge of her. He's a blue dragon with white hair. Remember that. We don't get much of this relationship, but it's clear these two grow close, as 12 years later, when Tamarin decides to leave for the human world, Atrushan snaps off his own horn, saying if she's ever in danger, she should blow this horn, and he will come save her. 3 years later, the horn is blown, so we answer the call. The grandfather dragon now tells us that the human world is cursed, so dragons can't go there. To counter this, we receive the Silver Scale, which turns us human. A red-haired human. Why does he have red hair? His eyes are blue, sure, but why not white hair? He could have just been a red dragon from the start. Atrushan takes off into a title sequence where we fly over the human world, seeing some of the chaos the Demon King's army is unleashing. Also, Tamarin bedazzled our horn. I really appreciate that at some point in the last 3 years of her mucking around a small town, she decided, I need to pimp this horn. And that's the setup. We are dropped into the human realm to find Tamarin and help her with basically whatever she wants. We did some combat as a dragon, but that was a stomp. As a human, we can actually see what's going on. This game's combat is fairly unique. Your basic attacks are performed by simply walking to an enemy. Bumping into them triggers the attack. The glowing white box is your resource for combat. It shows where you can walk, and attacking consumes a chunk. If you're already next to an enemy, you can attack multiple times so long as the meter allows. The weird thing is that you only control Atrushan. Everyone else is an NPC. You can issue simple orders like move here, but the AI will generally make the right calls. You gain experience points after fights, but only Atrushan and Tamarin level up. You'll see why later. The combat is most similar to Hydlide of all things, and Lunar, which had a similar movement idea, though it really is unique. We arrive in the town of Irvan, where Tamarin was living. This is definitely the nostalgia speaking, but I really love how snappy old JRPGs were. I've been playing for less than 20 minutes, and I'm already in the core loop. Random battles, arrive in town. Gear up, random battles. Go to dungeon, random battles, arrive in town. We buy a better sword, so I check our stats. Oh, that is ugly. The numbers on the right are our base stats, and the numbers on the left are total stats. We'd have 10 defense while naked, but with our armor, we have 40. The new sword increases our attack, but our range is still shit. I found an option to increase my walking speed. Whoa, this feels like I'm playing with speed up! Oh, this speed is great for whipping around town, so we quickly discover that Tamarin went to the Northern Shrine to help Baggin the Mage, but no one's come back. So the mayor has us go with a drunken swordsman named Barsum, who can open the way. Atrushan falls for the first trap, which Tamarin also fell for. Oh, I wish I had a girl to share one brain cell with. She obviously doesn't recognize us until we try to show off by turning back into a dragon to open a giant door, but that whole cursed world thing ruins the moment. Baggin is holding off a golem until we agree to fight it. He gives us a Crash Ruby to help with the fight. You can use items during combat. Oh. That's one of those what if I need it later kind of items. Got it. With the boss defeated, we level up. Don't get a rundown of what stats increase, which is annoying, but yes, leveling increases base stats. The stats are fairly clear-cut aside from points, which is your action currency, and wisdom, which unlocks new spells for the mages. Spell damage and healing are fixed. At certain wisdom values, new and improved spells are unlocked. We go back to town only to find it raided by the Demon King's army. It's a classic trope for the first town you visit to be destroyed as an initial push out the door. You can tell a lot about a game by its town destruction. I'm saving my thoughts on the story until the end for a special reason, but I gotta compliment this sequence. It's nothing. No fire, no gore, no boss fight. It's a town you just saw full of kindness and life, left quiet. It's not much, but it's good. We head to the capital city of Urvad to report the attack. Turns out we can't see the king unless the Baron says so. Turns out our drunken friend tried to expose the corrupt Baron and got kicked out. So we go raid the Baron's mansion, which is a step up in difficulty. Oh, you're gonna be like that, aren't you? When attrition goes down, it's game over, so maybe be a coward sometimes. Or use your dragon powers. In exchange for HP, you can turn into a dragon to damage all enemies. The boss comes down to the wire, but with the evil Baron defeated, we reveal that he was working with the demon army. Barsum gets his old job back, and we get two new party members, the Prince, Hathram, and his bodyguard, Farna. Together, we clear a fortress and go rest in town, where we get a humorous scene of the Prince trying to climb in bed with someone else because he's a playboy. Farna scolds him and we go to bed. But I noticed the bed Hathram was climbing into was Baggins. The boss of the fortress also mentioned something about Hathram liking man booty. I'm a little insulted by this, cause I'm right here. What does the old man have that I don't? He doesn't even cast spells, he just shuffles back and forth in combat. Screw you, Hathram, I thought we were tight. We learn of a cave in the area rumored to house a dragon. Baggin pulled his back and has to sit out, but we do find said dragon. Despite having eyes, Atrushan asks if this is the Emerald Dragon, but no, stupid, it's the Silver Dragon who made our silver scale. Turns out there are 5 dragon treasures we need to collect if we want to break the curse of this world, so that'll be our personal quest. During that conversation, Baggin dipped out to another cave to steal one of the dragon treasures. We found the corpse of his old friend in the first cave, and now Baggin wants to fulfill an old promise using this dragon treasure. While chasing Baggin, we work with the Resistance to raid a demon castle where Atrushan slices off the arm of Ostrakhan, the demon general. We fight his mage bodyguard, and by fight I mean bully, cause he's a mage and thus a nerd. Around this time, Urvad gets attacked, so Hathram leaves to do his princely duties. This is gonna be the norm for this game. Party members come and go, always being approximately the level you will be when they leave, so at least they're always useful. Farna is worried about Hathram, but we press on to a tribal village that will not help us because their rules are so strict. The chief's son, Yaman, objects to this and joins the party. Lots of truth nukes are about to go off. The tribe abandoned the village of Nanai because the demon Gomez took over. Baggin's friend was from Nanai, so Baggin is here to defeat Gomez on his behalf. Farna is Baggin's daughter. Oops, never mind, she's the daughter of his dead friend. Baggin also used to be a part of the demon army? That one doesn't really matter, and Baggin dies, granting Farna his power. We collect our second dragon treasure and use it to face the menace known as Gomez. That's right, each dragon treasure gives a new dragon power, though it's just better area of effect damage. With Gomez defeated, Yaman stays behind, and we rush off to help Hathram. The leader of the resistance, Khosra, joins for this section where we need to raid some forts and liberate a town. We're told by a demon that the demon general Ostrakhan is waiting for us in Urvad. I appreciate the party acknowledging this is a huge trap and going anyways. It seems Ostrakhan got a new arm and lots of magic to go with it. He's captured Hathram, so we agree to find an item called the Avesta in exchange for Hathram's safety. The Avesta is back in that forest, so we re-recruit Yaman. At this point, combat has become a major annoyance. The number of enemies just keeps increasing. Again, you only control Atrushan. You take one turn, then sit back for 30 seconds to a minute every round, and the encounter rate is quite high. I'd love to start running from encounters, but I don't want to miss out on experience. After suffering through that, we find a shrine and meet an angel. She basically serves as an exposition machine about the old gods called the Horus that ruled even before the dragons. She allows us to take the trial to obtain the Avesta, which is guarded by a zombie dragon, which turns out to be the golden dragon, so we get a MacGuffin for Ostrakhan and Atrushan. Very efficient. Ostrakhan reneges on his side of the deal, killing Hathram and attacking. This fight exposes how shallow the combat is. Ostrakhan spams an attack that hits everyone, but we only have 2 healers who do single target healing, so how can we survive? We spam high potions. You can use as many items as you want every turn, so combat doesn't test anything besides how deep your pockets are. After his retreat, we suffer a loss even worse than Hathram, our second healer, as Farna leaves the party to mourn. Khosraw swaps with his ally Karshwarl, but they're interchangeable. The next fortress has a giant barrier we need to break, so we explore a new area and find an all-female city where all the men were killed by the demon army. There's one little boy training with a bow who Yaman gives pointers to. Inside the battle arena of this town, we meet... I'm getting real sick of these names. This is the Champion of Wind. Ostrakhan stole his bow, so he joins us saying we should ask his master how to break the barrier. On our way out of town, Yaman gets accidentally shot by that boy he mentored, and fucking dies. What the hell? Was having 2 pretty boy archers really too much? It just makes no sense without context, but I gotta save story talk till the end, for reasons. For reasons! I've got a really good monologue planned. Sadly, Yaman won't be missed, as the new guy is just a better version of him, like 1-to-1. We defeat giant scorpions, talk to his crazy master for more lore, and an arrow that'll break the barrier. He also informs us that Hathram is still alive. The previous orb we saw get destroyed was a fake. The castle raid goes easily until the Ostrakhan fight, so I have to dig deep, lock in, and use the correct number of potions. Ostrakhan goes full demon and tries to finish us, only for Karshwarl to sacrifice himself to save us. God, our party members are dropping like flies. Rip in peace, Karshwarl. I'd say I hardly knew ye, but I feel like it'd be kinda snarky considering it's true. With Ostrakhan dead, we grab the orb containing Hathram and leave, but the Demon Lord Garcia appears to claim the Avesta. Shit, did we not grab that off his body? To show off the power of the Avesta, Garcia blows up a whole island. Were we seriously just gonna leave that behind? We need the prince back, so we seek out a legendary healer who takes us on a mini-adventure before he breaks the curse on Hathram. We take a boat to a large island, or perhaps a small continent, to speak with the Sea Priestess. All she says is that we actually need to talk to the Mountain Priestess. We travel to see her and reach a city that might as well be called Last Chance, with how hard they tell you to prepare for the final dungeon. Garcia ambushes us himself. Another annoyance this game loves is endless battles. Some enemies summon new units. Some enemies heal. When you combine the two, such as with Garcia being able to do both, you get a lesson in futility. Thanks to some lucky positioning and a critical hit, we scare Garcia off and meet the Mountain Priestess, who just randomly has armor for our archer. Garcia disliked that, so he vaporizes her. We pick up whatever is left. It's a usable item, but I don't think I wanna. Now all that stands between us and the inevitable third act twist is the Demon King's floating castle. It's actually a pretty short dungeon, so we reach Garcia, who gives us the twist. The old gods are behind it all. Everyone give a golf clap, at least they tried. The battle begins. Garcia is a pretty hard hitter. Might need to take out some of my savings to afford more high potions. With the Demon King defeated, we grab the 4th dragon treasure and the castle collapses. Tamarin uses a magic artifact to teleport us to safety, but this confirms something major. Tamarin is one of the Horus. Atrushan obviously doesn't care about this, and the party decides to stop the Horus from using the Avesta for evil. But first we soak in some love and admiration for stopping the Demon King. We find out where Farna ran off to, but before that, we have something crucial to do right now. We've unlocked a super boss, a foe more dangerous than even the old gods. Deep in the ancient woods lies the city of the dead, and deeper still, Bunny Girl Black. This isn't a fake out either. Lots of cities have casinos where you challenge bunny girls to minigames for a prize, usually being good equipment. We've beaten all the normal ones, so now we challenge the hidden one. If you can endure this nightmarish difficulty spike, you obtain the Bunny Rod, which is kinda just okay. Look, this game doesn't have much side content, I had to at least do this. Back to the plot, we travel all the way to the western desert and watch Hathram try and soothe Farna's broken heart. How you been? Oh, I can't watch this, let's leave. The couple do make up, and we finally get our precious second cleric back. A while ago, enemies gained the ability to silence Tamarin's spellcasting, so welcome back, Tamarin 2. To find the Horus, we must travel north. We fight a giant bird, climb some mountains, fight a giant set of eyes. Whoa, what? That's the final dragon treasure? Oh, this ending's about to be rushed as shit. Okay, I'm about to summarize this final section, and I want you to know I'm not leaving out any crucial details, and it really goes by this fast, so just know where to point the finger. On top of this mountain is a magic talking dragon sword for Atrushan, who has actually been the weakest member of the team for a while, so this is a welcome buff. The sword transports us to the floating city of the Horus. We immediately get captured. Turns out Tamarin is the princess of the Horus. Her true name is... yeah, even she ain't saying all that. We get locked in prison because the Chancellor, Tiridates, is a traitor who killed Tamarin's parents and now plans to use her to conquer the world. She gets rescued by a loyalist and frees us. We collect a lot of powerful equipment and find a dude who hands out infinite healing gins and clear potions. Healing gins are full heals, and clear potions cure all ailments. Okay. We send the tower to face Tiridates. The final dragon power is... it's fine. Once defeated, Tiridates turns Tamarin human. You know, just casually changes her race out of spite. Our sword yells that hiding inside Tiridates is something worse. Zandig. There is not a single word of explanation as to who or what this is. The final boss is a worthy challenge, especially towards the end. Zandig desperately spams this laser attack, and finally some cool strategy for this combat system. He's too big to move around, so I just walk to his side where the laser can't hit me. With the killing blow, our tension is relieved. We start talking about the future, but the Avesta has one final threat. It's literally just a nuke now. Our sword teaches us how to summon the Emerald Dragon, who can help us flee before it's too late. Just us. All the Horus die in the explosion. Most of the Horus weren't evil, so... bummer. The Emerald... oh... sorry, that animation was so funny I didn't know how to react. The Emerald Dragon shows that the curse is finally broken. The desert turns to grasslands, and the dragons will leave this world to the humans. Atrushan decides to stay human to be with Tamarin. I guess that's why she was turned human earlier. They run off as Hathram and Farna begin their romantic finale. Our final party member says, hey, being a fifth wheel is fun and all, but I'm leaving. The Emerald Dragon takes off, leaving this world to the age of humans. There is a lot I could say about this game. The art and music are so generic, I needed a checklist to remind myself to talk about them. The gameplay is unique, but insanely shallow. This concept was not properly explored at all, and it's so easy, I don't even feel like critiquing it. One thing I can say in this game's favor is that it isn't actually a 1995 game, it's a 1989 game. Emerald Dragon was originally released for home computers and later remade for the Super Nintendo. Mechanically, these versions are identical. As a 1989 game, I can be much more forgiving of the game's faults. It just winds up being an unimpressive JRPG. The most interesting talking point is what I've been saving for last. The story discussion. From the weird moments I've highlighted and the generally rushed conclusion, you must have a lot of questions about the source material. How did all this play out in the original manga or novel? There is no manga or novel. You assume this was based on something, right? We've all played adaptations before, book games, anime games, movie games. I just reviewed the horrible Ant Bully video game as a good example. Finally, I can say something good about that game. The Ant Bully game covers the plot of the movie, but it's clearly missing key scenes and details that would make a cohesive narrative. This game has so much of that. Why does Yaman randomly die? Why does Karshwarl exist? He clearly has some backstory we never get. Who is Zandig? This all bears the mark of missing context that the source material would contain. Even the gameplay has this. The 5 dragon powers have different visuals, but they all do the same thing: deal damage to everything on screen. Almost like the dragon forms are referencing unique powers that the game can't replicate. You should be going, oh, it's this part from the anime. He makes all the mini dragons to fight. I remember that, except you don't because there is no anime. As you'd imagine, there is very little information about this game, the people who made it, or even the company that originally made it. What I did find was the most surprising part of this whole adventure. People still care. The lead designer, the scenario writer, and other unnamed contributors went on to publish unofficial Emerald Dragon novels, manga. There was a drama CD released in 2015. The lead designer, Akihiro Kimura, made a legally distinct sequel in 2022, as he doesn't own the copyright. This game is not good, I don't argue that, but the people making it were so serious, so caring and honest in their attempt at telling an epic fantasy story. I just wish I could see the version of the story they see in their heads. I can only imagine this is the daydream story for one of the original creators. We all have that, right? That story idea you bounce around for years and years whenever you space off. I had a really good one back in high school. It was about this prince who gets framed and imprisoned at a young age. Okay, that sounds kind of lame when I say it out loud, but it's really cool. His hair would change color, and each color associated with one of his multiple personalities. Well, the story didn't matter that much. It was mostly about the action. I thought about the story a lot while listening to music, so all the fight scenes are choreographed to Disturbed or System of a Down. No, you don't understand. It's actually really cool. You have to trust me. Please buy my game, Gemstone Giraffe, coming out this... Thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, a like and subscription means a lot. And if you didn't enjoy, well, why the hell not? You better comment and tell me. Anyways, take care. 3 years later, the horn is blown. Oh no, that was right. Blown just sounds bad to me. Ah, shit. Should've, yeah, he blew the horn. Fuck, why didn't I think of that? Oh, I could've made a joke out of that. Alright.